You know what's interesting? Some people move through the world and absorb it differently. Not better, not worse, just differently. They notice things others walk right past. They feel the weight of things others barely register. And for most of their lives, they've quietly wondered whether something about them is slightly out of step with everyone else. Psychology has a name for this. Researchers studying cognitive processing styles have found that a measurable portion of people experience sensory, emotional, and social information at a fundamentally deeper level than average. It's not a disorder, it's not a flaw, it's a distinct neurological pattern. Here are 10 signs your brain processes the world differently than most people. The first sign is that you notice things before anyone else mentions them. A shift in someone's tone mid-sentence, a subtle tension in a room before anyone has spoken, an inconsistency between what someone said and how they said it. This heightened perceptual awareness is linked to what neuroscientists call sensory processing depth. Your brain filters out less incoming data than the average nervous system. You are, quite literally, running more information at once. The second sign is that you find small talk genuinely difficult, not because you're antisocial, but because your brain naturally moves toward depth. Surface-level exchanges feel incomplete, like beginning a sentence and never arriving at the point. Researchers suggest this reflects elevated activity in the brain's meaning-making networks. Your mind is always searching for substance. The third sign is that environments affect you more visibly than they seem to affect others. Loud or chaotic spaces drain you faster. Certain music reaches somewhere others don't seem to feel it. Clutter creates a low-level mental static you can't quite ignore. Psychologists call this environmental sensitivity, and it's a consistent trait in people with deeper neural processing. The fourth sign is that you replay conversations long after they've ended, not always out of anxiety, but because your brain is still processing, still extracting meaning, still asking whether something was phrased exactly right. This reflective loop is the same mechanism that drives strong self-awareness. The system that reviews also refines. The fifth sign is that you're moved by things that seem to pass others by entirely. A piece of music, a stranger's act of quiet kindness, a single line in a film most people have already forgotten. This emotional responsiveness is not fragility, it is depth of processing. Your brain doesn't simply observe experience, it absorbs it. Now consider this for a moment. These first 5 signs aren't a collection of quirks. They point at something consistent in how your nervous system is built. And the next 5 reveal how that wiring shapes the way you move through the world. The sixth sign is that you need time alone to recover after social interaction, even with people you genuinely love. This isn't introversion in the casual sense. It's your brain requiring recovery time after processing large volumes of interpersonal data. You are not withdrawing. You are integrating. The seventh sign is that you think in connections. When you learn something new, your brain immediately maps it onto something else, a memory, a pattern, an idea from a completely different domain. Cognitive researchers call this associative thinking, and it's a hallmark of minds that process broadly rather than narrowly. The eighth sign is that you feel a quiet but persistent discomfort with injustice, even when it has no direct effect on your own life. Your nervous system registers the wrongness before you formed a conscious thought about it. This moral sensitivity is directly linked to depth of empathic processing. The ninth sign is that people often describe you as intense, even when you're not trying to be. Your presence carries a quality of full attention that others notice. You listen in a way that makes people feel genuinely seen, but it can feel too much to some. The intensity isn't performance, it's simply what full engagement looks like when a brain is completely online. And the 10th sign is something quieter than the rest, a feeling difficult to put into words, that you move through life at a different frequency than most of the people around you. Not superior, not isolated, just tuned differently. Here's what the research ultimately suggests. Deeper processing is not a deviation from normal. It is a variation in how human brains are built, one that comes with its own kind of clarity and its own kind of weight, sometimes both at the same time. The science doesn't ask you to change it. It asks you to understand it. Because understanding how your brain works is the first step towards working with it, rather than quietly struggling against it.